Okie doke. Just doing a quick sound check. Yep, looks like everything's working. Need to dust this a little bit. Just need to check I've got all my things lined up. Bitrate should be fine. Should be fine. Maybe it's just because I'm not talking at the minute, so just check on that. Yeah, it's probably just because I'm not speaking. It is set correctly. Okay, so might as well get started. So I guess to everyone who was watching the stream last week, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. The format of these, so today I've got a continuation of last week's stream in creating my personal brand live. So we got through a decent amount last week, the kind of the sort of like the background of it and stuff, and some of the details of the information and stuff I've like learned over the years from studying various people in branding and marketing and stuff like that. So this week is kind of a little bit of a continuation and hopefully getting into some like practical stuff, putting a brand design sheet together maybe, see how far we get. But I'll jump into the little YouTube things that I do for sort of like turning this into sort of like a viewable video for other people and stuff. So we'll shoot out with those. So okay, get ready. Today I'm going to show you my strategy for building my personal brand. Oh, bless me. Get that out. So today I'm going to show you my strategy for building my. Today I'm going to show you my strategy for how I'm building my personal brand. By distilling the information and best practices from the various by distilling all the information, best practices from the best minds in branding and marketing and putting it into action. So if you want to future-proof your career, get ahead of the competition, or just start giving back to those in your community, so if you want to future-proof your career, get ahead of the competition, or just start giving back to those in your community, then keep watching. By the end, you'll have an actionable step-by-step example to copy from. Then keep watching, and by the end, you'll have a clear. Then keep watching, and by the end, you'll have a clear, actionable. Then keep watching, and by the end, you'll have a clear and actionable example to copy yourself. Howdy folks, my name is Liam. I'm a software engineer by trade, secret voice actor by night. Howdy folks, my name is Liam. I'm a software engineer by trade, a secret voice actor by night, and delighted to be sharing this part of my journey with you guys today. So with the little specific YouTube bits out of the way, we can jump into what we're covering today. So, just going to get over here. Obsidian. So yeah, I guess today I want to go through what I'm going to kind of call like my brand skeleton, the structure, and the key things that are going to hold up my sort of like brand. There's a great sort of like one sheet from a sort of well-renowned branding expert that I'm going to relay in a moment and stuff. So we're going to kind of cover that, my brand skeleton, how I'm going about that. Then I'm going to kind of talk about the things I want to have as part of my brand, the things I'm going to like build and maintain in terms of like content wise and structure and stuff like that. And then yeah, maybe together at the end, if we've got some time, put together a brand design template together, just like a one sheet of like, you know, fonts, typography, colors, and so on and stuff like that. So let's kind of get this down. So I'm going to build a brand skeleton. Going to put together I want to have, and then maybe at the end brand, well, actually like brand one, brand design one sheet, actually brand design one sheet if we get to the end. So brand skeleton, that can be grey, like bones. I want to have these like would like to have. So I'll just color it orange. Brand design one sheet. Green. Red. Most urgent thing. This is up next, and then if I get time at the end and stuff. So I'm going to share my screen on this one. So just as I was mentioning before, I'm going to create a brand like one sheet and stuff. But before that, I want to kind of run through an exercise of kind of summarizing up like what we did last week with kind of going through like Ikigai and all the things around like the personal brand in terms of like the background and who who it is that I am, like, what I want to kind of like be known for and stuff like that, and just kind of pull it into a more concrete put together and stuff. So this is Chris Do. I think it's Chris Do. I've never heard anyone say his last name, but I'm pretty sure it's Chris Do. He runs a world-renowned agency called the Future. He helps like various entrepreneurs and businesses with their like branding strategies and working his agencies and stuff like that. He's just big in the space in like in business and marketing and design in general and stuff. And he has this great personal branding worksheet that you have to sign up through an free email sign up and stuff to get it, but it's on there. You can get it, and it's this PDF of kind of going through the structure I'm going to go through on Obsidian in a minute and kind of fill out myself. So like really kind of nailing down what your personal brand is about with the who, what, how, and why. So who do you serve? So being specific about the people and the organizations and the companies, like the types of individuals and stuff that you're planning to serve, who you can serve. What do you do? So what is it you do that helps these individuals or people or companies or groups? How about you go about helping them in tangible means. So just in practical terms, like things that you can measure, things that you can identify very concretely, and then why you do this, and that's more around what intangible things, whether it's like like emotionally or psychologically and stuff. How does this help them? The service that you provide, how does it help, and why are you pursuing a personal brand for this means? And then putting it all together at the end, which with a really good template I like, I think is really good, is a positioning statement. So putting into words the who, the what, the how, and the why all together in a statement. He's got an example statement here. So yeah, it's really good. I'm using this today. I'm just kind of ripping it off and putting it into my Obsidian thing for notes. So if anybody else, if you're thinking of doing your own, setting up your own personal brand and stuff, I highly recommend checking out that resource and signing up for it. It's well worth it. It's a good template. So start with the who. So go to brand skeleton, move this over a bit. So who do I serve? So brand skeleton is going to have a few things coming out. So that, and then so who do I serve? What do I do? How do I help them? And why do I do this? and then at the end, we'll actually we'll have another section on this that's not kind of detailed on that kind of like one sheet that I wanted to add in myself. So we'll do that as well. So then we'll put in a positioning statement. So positioning, statement. What that looks like. And then the last thing, I think will kind of sit above all this in a way, is values. Be that down. Yeah, so I want to answer these, along with you guys today and stuff, and put them into words and stuff. So I'll bring up the other live stream canvas. So last time we kind of went through this framework of Ikigai, and I did kind of sort of like summarize my sort of like personal brand Ikigai, and like, you know, the what, the why, and the how. This was more kind of like the how was like specific to the things I'm doing on content creation, but I'm going to kind of get more specific in terms of like, well, in this content creation, what are we going to be creating that's going to help and serve other people and stuff. The why is more going to be tailored to the other why questions, framed a little bit differently, and the what is kind of going to play into that as well and stuff. But we're going to kind of clear up all this and stuff because we went through a lot of stuff, and I'm just going to kind of make sense of it all and put it down into a more of a fleshed out sort of framework. So who do I serve? So the types of people I want to serve, and this might change over time, or, you know, I might pick one to start with and move on and stuff. So I know that I want to serve other software engineers. So other software engineers that may be, you know, a couple of steps behind me in terms of their career, just because, you know, I'm going to be able to provide more value to them than obviously than someone who's ahead of me, and then I'm probably a little bit. I've been working kind of like too long to really be fully in touch, like, you know, with be able to help absolute beginners and stuff in terms of like, you know, if they're starting from scratch now, it's very much different for when I started from from where I was working in the trade and stuff. So other software engineers, and more specifically those around the junior to mid level, because I don't think trying to aim, or at least I think the value I can bring is stuff to absolute beginners or people who haven't, you know, had their first job and stuff, haven't had their first junior role, are going to be in a different circumstance than I was when I started. So I think I'd be better off serving the people who's like just a couple of like steps behind me, or you know, or the juniors and stuff, where they already kind of know some of the basics and stuff of a lot of things. They just need, you know, kind of more guidance and stuff. So other software engineers, those around the junior to mid level. Who else? People. What do we put on there? I think this should be the main driver, is aiming for these people, aiming for this audience, and I'll come on to why that is in the what do I do and how do I help them and why do you do this and stuff like that a little bit more. But other people like kind of in this sort of like area that I might be helping and stuff is like, absolute, well, not absolute beginners, but people looking to enter software / tech, potentially engineering managers, maybe in the future, maybe it's content that can help around high performing teams, or kind of content that's useful for engineering managers from a senior levels perspective. Who else? So businesses running tech teams, so not necessarily like tech businesses or whoever class themselves as tech businesses, but businesses that run a tech sort of a division or various tech teams. That might be something to look into the future. But I think starting off, it's going to be other software engineers, those around junior to mid-level. So then going into what do I do? I think this one's going to end up moving somewhere else, but it's okay. So what do I do? So my plan is to create and share So it's create and share content that will help them advance their skills, and that'll be both technical and soft skills. I guess specifically and then specifically for mid-level sort of engineers, sharing content and tips and things like that can help them take that next step into reaching kind of that senior level, so they can get that promotion and just become an overall better version of what they are now. And if they've been struggling for years to kind of get the promotion or to see that kind of like move up, that they can hopefully, by kind of like learning from my mistakes and the things that helped me kind of like finally get that to that level, they can benefit from that. So what do I do? Create and share content that helps them advance their skills, both technical and soft skills, specifically mid-level engineers, to finally get that promotion to senior. I think that's being the most recent transformation for me in terms of like in the last like 3 or 4 years, changing some of the things I do, and like kind of just being like more self-aware, building on my soft skills in particular and stuff, being able to make that jump to senior level and stuff whilst being kind of like stuck in that sort of mid-level role, being stuck in that mid-level role for a while. So people looking to enter software and tech and provide actionable content and provide actionable content so they can improve their chances of getting hired. This is more for like, things like tips for maybe interviews, tips for how to, put the CV together properly and stuff like that. what to look out for, where to look for tech jobs and stuff like that as well. That could be another thing. One thing I had thought about was setting up sort of mentoring calls. So like setting up like mentoring calls, like one-to-ones. I'd seen, I thought it was really, really good. Another sort of like developer YouTuber called Dorian Develops. Shout out to him. He set up a really good sort of kind of like not Skype sessions, but like you could book sort of like blocks of time with him in various parts of the week and stuff for various amounts of sort of like time and stuff like that to just go through whatever he does. I think he did like a CV reviews, resume reviews, general sort of like chit chat or kind of a career progression stuff. So I think that's something I might look at as well in terms of maybe early on, if there's people that I can set up, calls with to help like individually and stuff while I'm kind of first starting out and get to share some time with like, people like one-to-one. So that might be something. Around the engineering managers part, again, it's in the content space in terms of like, sharing content around, sharing content or sharing So sharing insights into high-performing, long-lasting teams, because the tech industry is definitely like known for like high turnaround in terms of people not staying at one place for too long, and I think it's kind of detrimental to the business and potentially individuals in the long run in not being able to kind of work on something for long stretches of time where you get to experience all the ups and downs, the humps and the bumps and stuff, and really having to build something that can stand the test of time. I think a lot of teams, a lot of products and stuff like, have teams working on for like, 2-3 years. I'm not saying it's the case everywhere, so but it definitely seems to be more common in tech that there'll be teams working on something for like 2-3 years and then they move on, and then it just gets picked up and carried on by other people who join and leave and stuff like that. But I think it's very rare now to find any developers that have worked on a product for more than 2 or 3 years, and like going into, especially not like 5 to 10 years, it's a bit more of a rarity. So sharing insights into high performing and long lasting teams. I think for businesses, it's realizing. So it's kind of like, for businesses, the value add that it can serve there is helping businesses realize what sort of like tech setup they might need, what they should be looking out for in terms of hiring, because I think we all know tech interviews are not great anyway, no matter where they run. They're all kind of a bit nobody tends to like them. I don't think they kind of like get the best out of people, especially like coding heavy ones. And what businesses should really be kind of looking for in terms of like putting their tech teams together and stuff. It's especially if they don't have something like a head of engineering or someone kind of leading that department and stuff. So good type. There's a bit of a broader one, that. Go down a bit. But with this, we want to stay kind of like hyper focused on a particular, audience. Like, we want to make sure we're not doing like lots of different things and just trying to serve one sort of persona to the best of my ability and stuff, which is what I want to do. If I want to do something, I want to kind of like do it as well as if not better than anybody else. I should always kind of strive to be the best version. So that's yeah. What do I do? So it's going to be around content creation and stuff, and there might be some mentoring calls that set up and stuff as well. But really, mainly starting around creating and sharing content that's kind of help advance their skills, and both technically and soft skills. That's the what do I do in terms of describing tangible terms what I do to help them. So then the how do I help them? So this is describing in tangible terms outcomes and transformations. So we kind of talked about it a little bit here, which is so helping them reach promotions. Because the other thing that I realize in the tech world at the minute and stuff is that we do have specialities between front end and back end, but I think what a lot of businesses need, so therefore kind of what a lot of individuals like developers need to kind of be able to do to sort of stand out is to be kind of like a jack of all trades. I think being kind of like specialized for front end or back end is fine, but you kind of like lessen your utility by kind of being too specialized. It's not bad to be specialized and have specific kind of deep knowledge and skills, because you can't be kind of like like an A-star, like top of the top 1%er of like devs in both like infrastructure, front end, back end, and kind of everything else in between, or at least it's very, very difficult to do that. So it's helping them reach promotions. It's helping them reach promotions. So my plan would be to so I think it's building projects together so that we can widen or broaden, that's a better word. So we can broaden our skill set. Because I know this is me right now and stuff. I've kind of done a mixture of everything. I've done a bit of infrastructure. I've done a bit of done a lot of front end, a bit of back end. I haven't dabbled with like lots of different languages, like especially for back end development stuff. And I haven't really kind of done a lot of heavy back end development for quite a while. So that is something I want to kind of like do on the streams, is like build projects that will be kind of tackling areas and domains of and skill sets that I'm not normally used to using, especially in very sort of like a complex ways. So really kind of like starting with sort of like simple projects to kind of get used to like different languages, and then kind of just progressing from there, and like building, whether it's saying building one project and then building more complex features on top of it, or building lots of kind of different little projects where they can kind of like tie the bow, on them after a certain point. Not really kind of thought about that too much, but definitely, building projects together so we can broaden our skill set together, so people kind of like learn along with me and see how, someone who's sort of like, in a more senior level is like kind of breaking down projects and kind of learning these new skill sets and stuff. Someone who's been in the, been in the game for a while, trying to think, I'm 33 now, so 12 years roughly, roughly speaking. So building, helping them reach promotions, that's the transformation. Outcomes, building projects together so we can broaden our skill set and have more work to show. This is another reason why I'm doing this live now and stuff, is to refine my thinking and making sure that I'm kind of thinking about my personal brand in the right way, and I'm not being kind of like too vague in all of it and stuff. Other things I can do to other transformations and outcomes. Becoming. So I think I can help people become more more founder minded. So I think one of the big things is when you're moving into more senior positions, you need to be thinking more and more like an entity in the business and stuff, and kind of having more of a focus not on just the tech, but like the people around, like how you can influence or kind of guide people's like ways of working to like to improve things, like create more efficiencies, create more productivity, produce better solutions and stuff. So you kind of have to be, but it has to be with the premise of the business value in mind, and that can kind of come in like various ways, whether it's like so say like for front end, for websites and development stuff, it could be speeding up the web platform, just generally creating a better user experience in terms of like implementing better designs, better components that work well, with less like cross-browser bugs and stuff like that. It might be creating more efficiencies for teams, so like better pipelines, better software tools and stuff, that means that people can kind of like deliver faster with more accuracy and less bugs, and have a better developer experience, so they want to work with the tech at the company and stuff like that. So becoming more founder minded and delivering value. And I guess, helping them to be kind of transform and reach this place of becoming more of a leader, being able to to be that leader figure in terms of like helping drive things forward, and being kind of like a force to move move the world forward and move the business forward and stuff. So help them become leaders. And that'll be through like various, content around like self-improvement, health, fitness and stuff, because I think that's a big thing that's understated in like tech in general and stuff, is that there's not nearly enough emphasis put on how we kind of look after ourselves as individuals, like physically and mentally and stuff like that. So, and that's something I've improved. I've always been quite sporty, but that's definitely something I've improved in recent years as I've kind of like, fallen out of like good habits and stuff. I'm just going to check the stream 1 second, just make sure the sound's playing all right. YouTube's saying the bit rate's a bit low, but I don't believe it is. 1 second. YouTube's saying the bit rate's a bit low, but reverberate? Yeah, it seems fine. I'm just going to ignore that. Good. Tell you what, it's not easy doing this live as well. Like, I've had a lot of time to think about this and, kind of really think about what it is I want to be kind of doing and what I want to be doing to create. Don't want to just create for creation's sake or create to just entertain. I want to kind of do those things as well. I want to have some fun streams, like, a lot of I want to do some things as well where I just do it for fun, for my own kind of delight in terms of like, making cool stuff again. That's why I want to, make sure I kind of like build projects and stuff, because, I need to skill up as well. I need to keep getting better. But I also want to kind of help people who are maybe a little bit behind me and stuff get better as well. So why do I do this? So the emotional and intangible benefits it creates for others. So this is a bit of a selfish one in some ways and stuff, because I'll explain in a second. So how would I phrase this? So I think why I do this, it helps people kind of break down these, not always perceived, but like, there might be genuine barriers as to why, people maybe not progressing and stuff, but definitely on helping people who are kind of like ready to kind of move up to that senior level and to kind of like, become more of a leading figure and stuff, and more of a teacher and mentor and stuff, helping them break down those kind of like perceived barriers, as I kind of often felt where at times where there was times when I felt like I'm ready, I'm ready to kind of like take on that promotion, take on the responsibility to to lead and stuff, to times where I felt like, no, you know what, I'm still like, I still don't know much, I'm not kind of much use, and kind of putting myself down constantly. I want to help people kind of like break down those, if they have them, those sort of like perceived barriers, where they feel like maybe they're not good enough to reach that level and stuff. and kind of if they are clearly capable of kind of like taking that next step, that really helping them realize that it's not maybe necessarily it might not be them, it might just be in the business that they're in won't kind of doesn't have that room for them to grow in terms of like promotion and title and stuff, and also to not boost confidence, help people to help them to build genuine confidence. And by that I mean confidence in results. So if people feel like it's a lack of experience in terms of like, variety experience that's like holding them back, like, there's part of like, building the projects together, so building some like more complex projects in sort of like almost like a pair programming kind of way and stuff, helping them kind of even just generate ideas for projects and stuff like that, helping them kind of like build that genuine confidence by actually tackling like, big problems or difficult problems, different technical problems, so they can build that genuine confidence where it's confidence by evidence. So they've been tackling it and you're creating great things, and that builds like genuine confidence and not just kind of fake it till you make it type of confidence, which won't really help them. Emotional and tangible benefits it creates for others. How best to put it into words? But that was part of the first one, actually. Build belief. So it kind of goes with the confidence a little bit, but it's kind of mainly around breaking down barriers and helping people to build that belief that they can reach that next step and progress and get better and stuff. I think another one is the fulfillment that you get from kind of the continuous progression, and not just the job titles and stuff, but when you kind of clearly made that next step and you become that next level up, that fulfillment by continuing to progress to their full potential. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily it's not necessarily something that really I think ever happens for anybody and stuff. It's like, I don't think anybody ever really reaches their fullest potential, because I think if you sort of have a self-improvement mindset, there's always more you could feel like you could do. You always kind of look back and think, maybe there was more time I could have spent and stuff like that. It's hard to kind of sort of feel believe this of that full reaching the full potential sort of mindset. Obviously, some people would achieve like amazing things in their life, and it'd be hard to argue they didn't achieve the full potential and stuff. But just kind of like fulfillment by I'm going to reword that and stuff. I think it's more fulfillment. I think it's fulfillment from continuous progression. So when people kind of get stuck and they feel like they sort of like spinning the wheels a bit and not quite moving forward, they feel like they're sort of like in the same spot, that they can feel this sense of fulfillment and like avoid the feeling of time being wasted or feelings of like regret and stuff by simply, just getting more out of what they're doing at the minute, more out of their time. So to kind of pull it together, there's a good template he's got here for a mission statement. So I got a thing I'm just going to sort of copy. Oops. A bit skip it out a bit. So the statement is like, I help so and so person to what I help them to, what I do to help them, how. So it's a bit mixed around that actually. Hold on. So I think just getting a bit of clarity on that. So I help mid-level software engineers to, oops, so improve their tech and soft skills by some of the how I've actually mixed a little bit into the what. Reaching So I help mid-level engineers to improve their technical and soft skills. To improve their technical and soft skills. If I'm pausing a lot, it's because I'm really thinking about this. Because that's the whole point of this. This point why I'm doing it live is I've thought about things behind and stuff, but if anything's that I'm going through live that doesn't make sense to me and stuff, then it's probably a good point for me to like stop and change things and stuff because it's obviously not going to be on track. So I help mid-level engineers to improve their technical and soft skills and reach their improve their technical and soft skills so they can reach the next level by creating and sharing content that helps them broaden their skill set. So I've looked at Chris Dew's example for that, so that how to phrase this last part, a little bit difficult. Ain't so easy. I had this written down, but I'm thinking about rewording it. let's stretch this out a little bit. It's a bit small. I help mid-level engineers to improve their technical and soft skills so they can reach that next level by creating and sharing content that helps them broaden and deepen their skill set so that they build genuine confidence through evidence and so they build genuine confidence and belief themselves through evidence. So yeah, that took a little while to think about, but when I highlight it, it's a little bit more so it stands out. Italic. Yeah, so I guess that's it. So that's the mission statement finished. So the full thing being, I help mid-level engineers to improve their technical and soft skills so they can reach the next level by creating and sharing content that helps them broaden and deepen their skill set so they build genuine confidence and belief in themselves through evidence. So I took that kind of last part from Alex Hormozy. Has a great he had a great short that I saw at one point around self-confidence, and kind of on, it's one of those when you hear it you sort of realize how true it is, but the idea of building self-confidence is a little bit flawed in some ways. Sort of building self-confidence and the sort of fake it till you make it and stuff is kind of a bit of a mask. The people who are genuinely confident are confident because they're they have a history of success behind them. Like, they've done things, they've achieved things, and put in the work and kind of deliver the results and stuff. And that also means that they probably failed a lot of times as well. They probably tried lots of things and failed at lots of things. And there's nothing better to build evidence than basically be able to say, well, I've been there, got the t-shirt, all that. I know that from experience, especially with my kind of running journey in recent years. We'll talk about that at another point and stuff, but that's I think a genuinely good point and stuff. So helping them build genuine confidence and belief through evidence. So sharing knowledge and actionable content where they can kind of go away. They have projects to try and tackle, like we're creating on stream, or we talk through topics based on my experience and sharing my experiences. I've kind of gone along that might be useful for people who sort of just behind me, the things that I've read and done and stuff that help me take that kind of next step where I was sort of struggling before. So I spent a good amount of time on this. Actually spent an hour, so we'll just jump on to the next bit. which was I wanted to talk about kind of values and just things that I want to kind of keep in mind for this brand in terms of how I should always sort of like, be looking to just like what values should I adhere to and stuff for like the long term. These are things that really shouldn't change. It might be the brand over time, like, I start to sort of maybe move away from like these specific sort of who, what, and why and how and stuff. Maybe that change all the time, maybe it doesn't. But values are things that, I think sort of generally shouldn't change over like the long term. Unless you have a very big change of character and stuff. I think it's these are sorts of things that would sort of like stick with you for a long time. So I'll kind of give like the full list that I sort of thought about before this stream and stuff, so you've got like, visibility of that, and talk a little bit through what it is that I actually want to keep. So hold on, that's going to double that. Let's fix that. Color code this one, just give it a bit of a, I'll do that one as well. Blue, a bit of blue one. Yeah, so in terms of sort of like thinking about the brand and what values they should sort of like aspire to, to keep and to have, and what are kind of like is innately, intrinsically valuable to me and stuff. Obviously, you sit there, you think about things, and a lot of like words come up in your mind and stuff. And these were just a handful of words that came up and stuff. Was transparency, honesty are two big things for me. You need to be, I always feel, especially in the long game, in the long run, you need to be honest. You need to share as much as possible when appropriate. Difference between transparency and honesty. But I generally feel like, is Abraham Lincoln? I don't really know. Like, the honesty is the best policy is generally true. I think over the long term, being dishonest will not get you, as far as being honest with people and being true about your intent. And this is kind of pulled out of this a little bit in terms of looking at myself and kind of honestly evaluating, well, who is it that I can actually, provide value to and help in my personal brand. So who can I generally like help and stuff? And a lot of people aim for, in the sort of the tech, the tech sort of influencer space, as you will, stuff, aim for the beginner types, and that's fine. But I actually think the further down the route you get in terms of like the longer you've been in the game, let's call this one actually. That's the to aspire to. It's going to be more difficult for you to put yourself in a beginner's shoes to know what's going to help them. You obviously know, like, you've had enough experience to sort of know the basics and the fundamentals and stuff. But I guess in terms of like, starting points, especially stuff like in tech, I think that changes a little bit. I don't think, it's necessarily, there are obviously like, fundamentals in terms of software engineering practices, but in terms of like the tech and stuff, I think obviously changes a little bit. You could start everybody off, in the very basic, like if it's web development, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, I'd still say that's probably the best way for most, like, and then kind of build from there. But I think, the further along you go, the less relatable you're going to be able to find yourself to the absolute novice or beginner and stuff, or people who are trying to get into engineering and stuff, because you're sort of so far past that now. It's going to be, I just think somebody who's been there more recently is going to have more relevancy to offer people who are just behind them and stuff. So yeah, so going back to the values, so part of this honesty is being honest about who it is that I can help and who it is that maybe I can't help as well, and who I should, who I should focus on kind of delivering valuable to. Accountability, being accountable for my own words and my own actions, and not placing the blame on others. So always being accountable for everything that kind of comes from, especially that comes directly from me and stuff. Not kind of like trying to push things to others or blame others or point fingers and stuff like that, and take. There's a great book by Jocko Willink, who was an ex-Navy SEAL, and he wrote what's the book called now? Oh, Extreme Ownership. And it is a little bit extreme, to be fair, but I believe a lot of it. I believe a lot of it is valuable and is worth. I think it's a methodology it's worth pursuing. So accountability is a big one for me, because being responsible for your actions, your words, and what you're kind of putting out there, and not just like, basically passing on the blame when things go sideways, is a big one, because it kind of goes along with honesty a little bit as well. Authenticity. I want to try and be myself during this and stuff. So like, I want to share a bit of my personality and have a bit of fun with it and stuff. I'm not the most like super bubbly person in the world, but having grown up in the 90s, I am a little bit quirky by nature. So sharing that authenticity and being true to myself, so that other people will respond to that, authentically, and respond to that in kind, and not trying to be somebody I'm not. Humor, again, like, I think if we kind of, if you're going to kind of do anything in life, especially if it's going to be difficult or grinding or arduous and stuff in any way, trying to make it fun in some way, like, provide a little bit of humor, put a smile on somebody's face. I really, really believe in that. And resilience, it's a big one for me. It's not something like, so I guess, well, it's different to consistency. I think consistency is something I've built over a long period of time, but in more recent years, it's definitely something I've built on consistency and resilience, with long distance running, basically. But being able to stick with things when they get hard, and be able to break through barriers, and to really just kind of have that tenacity to kind of keep going, is a big important value for me and stuff. Empathy, so understanding other people and not having this sort of the emotional knee-jerk reaction to what people are saying, and trying to understand the other person's perspective. Service. So the whole point of this brand and stuff should be to serve, to serve other people like me, or other people who want to, reach where I've reached, and kind of get to where I've got to and stuff. I don't want it to just be for my sake only. It needs to be, at least useful for one other person on this planet. And a continuous learning. I wouldn't be on here and kind of claiming I got all the answers, because far from it. I always want to be I'll be back in one sec, because the camera has just gone. Back in 1 minute, find out what's going on with it. Yeah, the sound's still coming out. Okay, so it's just the camera. Hope it's not getting too hot. Oh, I might have to pull this down. Oh, troubles. I'm gonna have to maybe switch to a webcam. Oh, there we go. Now, how do I get the camera back without turning OBS off? That is the key. Hold on. That's the webcam. No, I don't want to exit. How do I get it back? Hold on. All right, let's just check that everything's back. It's a good thing that I heard that it didn't happen halfway through. Is it sound still coming out? Yeah, sound's still coming out. It's a good thing that I heard that it didn't happen halfway through. Okay. I think I've got things back. Yeah. I'm gonna have to look out for that one. I don't know what that was. It's happened a few times. Don't really know what it is. I want to keep the camera that I've got using and stuff because it's a good camera, but it's done this a couple of times where it's turned off. So yeah, I might need to have a look at that. Where were we? Okay, so we're in Obsidian. So we're just talking about service. So we already kind of covered that, I think, before it cut off. So continuous learning. Yeah. So I'm not gonna. I don't want to be like on this stream and kind of creating this personal brand, saying that I've got all the answers in the world and stuff, and like I've got kind of nothing else to do and stuff. I've got plenty to improve on, plenty to do. What I know that I can do is share with people what I've been able to do thus far, like what's worked for me and how it can help other people, and just continue to be improving and continuously learning and always kind of be growing and just have that continuous mindset of like the infinite game of like constantly learning and yeah, just always kind of getting better because it's fun. Simple as that. So I put this like kind of value statement together and stuff. I don't want to think too much into it. But I want it to be essentially, I think the three key things, because I think if you have more than that, it becomes a bit of a, not a woolly thing, but I want it to be very concrete. I want it to be a very concrete thing as to what my brand, is about. Just check that you can see all that good. So I think the three things out of all the stuff that I kind of highlighted are honesty, accountability, and service. And putting this together before and stuff, it kind of comes into never lie. That's very different from not telling the truth. It's also, if when you tell a lie because you know what the truth is. The difference between telling a lie and not knowing the truth. A lot of people who are kind of like called liars and stuff simply don't know the truth. They just believe what they're saying is the truth. So never lie. That goes against like your natural instinct. When you lie because I don't think lie detectors actually work and stuff, but the fact that there's physical symptoms of when people lie is a very telling thing in terms of nature shows us physically to ourselves and stuff like when we lie. So never lie, be accountable for my actions and words, and never place the blame on others. So yeah, that's just being mature adult, I guess. Be accountable for my actions and words and never place the blame on others when especially when I could have done something better or done something differently, could have affected the outcome. Work and strive to serve others, so my time spent on this planet is a net positive. So there's no point. No, there's no point. I'll feel more fulfillment from working on something that will help others to improve, to help others progress, rather than kind of just working on something for my own sake. I've had a lot of opportunity in my life to, have a lot of experiences, do lots of things, do well, had a good education, really good upbringing, the lot. I couldn't complain about anything I've had up to this point. Compared to a lot of people, I've had very, very few struggles. And if I'm going to be working on something and spending a lot of time on it, I want it to be a net positive to the world. So it provides some genuine value and hopefully, gives back to people in the same way that I've been given a lot thus far. So that's kind of I don't think we're going to get onto the brand stuff today and stuff, but that's kind of the brand skeleton put together. So that's all that's kind of concrete in the sort of the positioning statement and values. So I think this is something, I'm kind of discovering this as we go a little bit in terms of I've thought about it and I've struggled to really nail down what it is exactly, that I want to kind of do this brand and focus with. But I think this is a good statement. This is a good position. This is a good position that I can definitely help drive a lot of value towards. And I think there's a lot of people who could benefit from this, and kind of they can reach that next level hopefully with some of my help and experience and stuff. Might not always be the case, but hopefully it will. The next thing I wanted to do was kind of just lay out a sort of like a plan of what I want to kind of put together and stuff. So how am I kind of going to basically achieve this and stuff? We talked about this is kind of like the high level thinking of things, of the brand, and then down to the nitty gritty and stuff. So how am I going to accomplish this? What am I going to need? What do I want to have in place to be able to do this? So I think one thing that's easy to note and stuff is a newsletter. So for building long-term connections and kind of long-term value, having a newsletter and be able to to share that to people's inboxes stuff directly is a big thing. We all know that platforms like YouTube, Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that and Instagram all kind of rented space and stuff. So having a newsletter and in kind of sort of the same vein, having a website. So we'll go into these in a little bit more detail, just kind of list them high level. So I want to have consistent social media, what's the word? Presence. Well, yeah, I'd say that's a good way of putting it. So consistent social media presence. So supporting the content through up to newsletters and the website, but we all know for personal brands and stuff, it'll work so much better with consistent sort of social media presence. And there's different formats that work so much better, obviously video content for YouTube, Twitter for short form writing and stuff like that as well. So my message and my kind of value can reach more people. So that this is mainly kind of around Twitter and LinkedIn and stuff. So maybe I'll put that in details afterwards and stuff. And I want to have you know, regular YouTube live streams and videos. So this kind of ties into like this one a little bit and stuff, but I kind of make this more specific to things. So newsletter, but why do I want it? I want this to be, oops. Hold on. So I want the newsletter to be the start for all written content. I took Justin Welsh's course around his content modeling strategy and stuff, and I thought it was a really good model. Where in the past, where I've tried to do sort of like social media before, it's always been difficult in terms of like knowing what to share and stuff. In his kind of like content model of like, you know, writing long form through newsletter and then repurposing that sort of same value in different sort of micro formats and stuff, I think is really good. So I want this to be kind of like the start for all kind of like written content, to share these pillars of content. Whoops. So pillars of content. So it's going to be software development, it's going to be wealth and finance. So, you know, sharing my journey with like, you know, improving myself, like, you know, financial, like, you know, standing for my family and to be able to be a better provider. Just basically clearing myself up more in terms of finance understanding, being more financially literate in general, and the old cliche of self-improvement. But yeah, but it's, you know, it's kind of left out a little bit, it's a little bit cliche and stuff, but I generally, you know, I'm very passionate about constantly striving and constantly kind of working to be a better version of myself over time. So I want don't want it to all just be completely software development related. You know, that's kind of like the micro, you know, the very sort of focused agenda and stuff of like, you know, helping mid-level engineers and stuff. But the technical and the soft skills lean into different worlds a little bit. So like self-improvement can, you know, be, it's just a net benefit for everyone in general anyway. Always kind of like, you know, striving to be a better version of yourself over time. So I want the newsletter to be start of content. Lost my thing, hold on. That's why, hold on. Yeah, so then the idea is you know, at least one of the live streams, so one of the live streams you know, becomes deep, you know, becomes a deep dive into this topic. Yeah, that's the idea. Like, you know, one of the live streams on, like, you know, whether it's either on Tuesday or Wednesday becomes you know, a deep dive into the newsletter, whatever I've written in the newsletter that can like share with people and go through. Yeah, then this will be this would be repurposed into short form content. Well, it repurposed into we mentioned it was like it'll be repurposed into a live stream, and also be this will also be repurposed into short form, which will be yeah, like video shorts, tweets, LinkedIn posts, etc. I'll probably just focus on these for now, but yeah, that will be kind of like the purpose of the newsletter, is like repurposing it for other content as well. So that's why I definitely want to have the newsletter. I think not also just for sharing value, but I think writing in a long-term strategy and stuff makes a lot of sense. So making sure that I just improve my writing skills over time. I think another great creator stuff, Dan Coe, says clear writing is clear thinking, and he definitely experienced that like firsthand then when I was like on the canvas board, like trying to figure out my personal branding and positioning stuff, so I could be like more specific about who I'm looking to serve and to help to help. So go back to here. So website, because somewhere to host my projects. So I want to build lots of different things. I want to build, I just want to build lots of different stuff, with you guys over time, and build some fun things and just have a bit of fun with it as well. So it's to host my projects. It can, my newsletters can become blogs of sorts. So like, they'll probably just sit as newsletter format and stuff, but they'll become kind of blogs on the website. And it's just a general place to my space of the internet, so my space of the internet, document my journey, my values, and my positioning statement. So it's always there, available for people to find whenever. So I've written these down a little bit more previously. So like, why do I want to have consistent social media presence? So I'll paste these in here. These are not kind of like the whys, but this is kind of like the whats. The whys really is to give myself the best chance of success, to succeed with this in the long term. To maintain a presence that's maintainable and valuable and just consistent. So as I kind of outlined from the repurposing strategy for the newsletter, that's kind of like adherent to that. I want to maybe not straight away, but at some point I want my kind of like contributions to be either daily or every other day on Twitter and LinkedIn. Be fairly regular with those. Twice weekly on YouTube community. So like I want to post on the community wall where it's like questions and just sharing things, polls and stuff like that. I want to post on there because I think it's fun to get like a lot of be able to put those like questions out there, to put those posts out there and get a response and kind of read from people. And then daily on YouTube Shorts, so kind of cutting up these live streams and, you know, delivering it like daily. So there's there's just something for people to watch, like, you know, each day they can kind of take in. So that should be valuable. So live streams and videos. So I want to post once a week. Once a week video. Didn't phrase that well. One video once a week. So that's just normal kind of style YouTube videos, long form videos. So I want to post at least once a week. And oops, I think the camera's gone again. Are we back? Hold on. Hold on, we're not back yet. Just done that again. I'll put off the. Hold on. I did this last time and it crashed OBS, so please don't do this again. Right, I'm just gonna I'm gonna check again that everything's back to being okay again. Because that was a little bit funky. Just gonna wave, make sure that my waving is in camera. Hold on, I couldn't see that. Try the side. Yep, there we go. Okay, we're back. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure that out. By the way, if anybody knows, I'm using can't remember the type, of Sony ZV-10 or something like that. As my webcam, I've hooked it up through HDMI. If anybody knows how to fix the potential issue of it switching off randomly like that, it's got a continuous power source. It's not run by battery, so I'm not at this point. I'm not really sure why it just keeps switching off. Whether there's a particular setting I should have it on or something else. But I digress. So back to here. What was I saying? Yeah. So I want to post at least once a week, and that's just to kind of build a good cadence of not getting hung up on perfection and everything and stuff. Like I tried to, believe it or not, I tried to start this YouTube channel last year and didn't go so well because I filmed a few videos, I had fun and whatnot, but in the end I ended up not posting them and stuff because I spent too much time editing them and trying to get them to sort of like a certain level of perfection. So with this, it's a wanting to build up that publishing muscle of like consistently publishing, consistently delivering value. So that's what that is about. Yeah, and as I kind of like said, so like your regular YouTube live streams and videos, so live stream twice a week. So yeah, it's just some, I think this is a good way to kind of like do it. I think doing it live and getting it out there um, to people, and people can like join along, because the thing that what I want to do with these is kind of like, deep dive the newsletter. Oops. Deep dive the newsletter. So whatever it is that I'm kind of like you're writing about, instead we can kind of like deep dive into that in the live stream together and kind of talk about it. People can pose questions, I can like respond and stuff. So deep dive the newsletter and build awesome projects. So this is a little bit selfish in some form. I guess all of it kind of is a little bit selfish in some way, but building awesome projects. So I want to give myself the time to build just really cool stuff that I haven't had kind of like chance to do, and I probably won't get the chance to do in my working routine. So by kind of building it on live stream with you guys, that'd be a really fun experience. And who knows, like people actually might be able to help me when building these projects and stuff. And I definitely don't want it to come across as I know kind of like I've built all this stuff before, and amazing, know exactly what to do and stuff like that. Half it I won't know what to do, especially if I'm leaning into the realms of the unknown. So these projects and stuff will hopefully I'll be able to build and share with you guys. So then you can have a stab at either making your own of the same kind, or taking that project and kind of building it further and stuff, so you can like do more with it. What time is it? It's 10 to 10 now. Checking that everything's running all right. So I did say that next time, this time I'd put a brand design one sheet together, but I'm not totally. I don't think I've got kind of really enough time to kind of get through that now, and not one for sort of like kind of getting through partly through something and then sort of like kind of just leaving it midway. So what I think I'll probably do is probably sign off for now. What is it? Is OBS now? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I think that'll be kind of it for now. I think on Wednesday we'll kind of come back to this and kind of finish up this sort of side of things, because I want to start moving into putting the newsletter together and like basically creating the newsletter account, starting to put the website up, and putting it all together and stuff in like in a basic way, so we can start start writing up and start creating that consistent schedule and stuff. So on Wednesday, I'll pick that up. I'll kind of treat that as kind of like an extension of this live stream, and kind of put some like brand guidelines together. I'll put a style sheet together. Maybe put I might touch on putting the website sort of structured together and stuff, but I'm more tempted to just put the the brand style sheet together. You know what? No, actually, I'll do that. I think I'll put the brand. We'll aim to put the brand style sheet together, and then set up the newsletter account. So just set up the newsletter account and kind of get that ready to start writing. Because then next week we'll actually start doing some coding live. We'll actually start doing some coding live. I'll start putting together the website and what's going to power the news. Is that my camera gone again? It is. Okie dokie. Okay, so note to self, I'm going to have to do something about the camera next week on Wednesday. I think it might just be because it's overheating, but I don't know what I'm going to do about it at this point. I might have to just switch to Logitech camera and just accept that it's going to look like a bit pants. Hold on. How's that? Better? Cool. I'm going to have to figure that out. I don't know what it is to keep shutting down, so I'm going to have to do some Googling and whatnot. All part of the learning. Yeah, so Wednesday, we'll look at putting the brand style sheet together, set up the newsletter account, and kind of like get to grips. So I'm going to use a Beehive, I think it's called, to set that up and stuff. So I'll share with you how I'm going to set that up and my plan for writing cadence. I'm going to be writing a newsletter once a week. So I need to get that account set up and start that kind of writing cadence. I'm just going to do the end of screen sales pitch for the YouTube video and stuff, so people kind of go on to the next or the previous video and stuff. So I'm going to write that. I'm going to think of that spiel now. I think some of these YouTube videos are going to kind of like join together and stuff because yeah, I was meant to do the brand style guide this time and stuff, so I guess I'll take part of the stream next from next time to put it into this one and stuff. So I'll just do the end of sales pitch for this one. So next time, oh, not again. I'm gonna have to find out something different for this because the camera just won't play ball for this long for whatever reason. Which is gonna mess up my stuff for like I plan to doing a 24-hour live stream at some point for a particular idea and stuff. We'll come back to that another time. Yeah. So next time we're gonna set up next time we're going to set up a newsletter account and start coding the website to put all this together. I'm gonna have to get a lot better at like reading, either kind of thinking off the cuff, or I might have to get a teleprompter or something because I've written out these little end sales pitches and stuff, and I'm not a good actor. I'm not going to remember like lines very very quickly, so I need to do something about that. Which side does YouTube put videos on? Probably this one. Not sure. Not sure how to find the. Not sure. Have to get better at this. Not sure how to find the purpose for your brand. Not sure how to find the purpose for your brand? Then watch this. Not sure how to find the purpose for your brand? Then watch this video here from the first live stream where I show you this renowned concept that's used. Almost had it. That the most successful people use to find their true purpose. Not sure how to find the purpose for your brand? Then watch this video here from the first live stream where I share a renowned concept that the most successful people use to find their true purpose. Okay. Not sure how to find purpose for your brand? Then watch this video here from the first live stream where I share a renowned concept that the most successful people use to find their true purpose. I'll look at the screen then. Not sure how to find a purpose for your brand? Then watch this video here from the first live stream where I share this renowned concept that most successful people use to find the purpose for their brand. To find their true purpose. Whoops. Most successful people use to find their true purpose. Not sure how to find purpose for your brand? Then watch this video from the first live stream where I share a renowned concept that the most successful people use to find their true purpose. I'll try that one more time. I can do better than that. Not sure how to find the purpose for your brand? Not sure how to find the purpose for your brand? Then watch this video here from the first live stream where I share a renowned concept that the successful people use to find true purpose. I think that's the best I can do for now. So and you know what, just as the camera's switching off, I'm not going to switch it off yet because I want to say goodbye to everybody properly. Come back OBS. Hold on, come back to me. Okay, so I guess that's it for this live stream. Thanks everyone for joining. If you're coming back and listening from a future date, thanks for coming back and watching.